Hey there guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Speedrun Link's Awakening DX 100%. In the last episode, we made it through Dungeon 7, finished off Dungeon 7, and in this episode we'll be making our way to Dungeon 6 because that's how dungeon orders work. So to start off, you want to put on your feather and boots because it's a little bit faster, and fall down this pit. And right here, to the lower right, is the final heart piece of the game. Very convenient. So we now have every heart piece in the game. And what we're going to be doing today is making our way to Dungeon 6, getting the Dungeon 6 key and the final seashell. So we want to just run over here to this warp. And additionally, we will be getting our last picture, which is located right here. The reason that we're getting this picture now as opposed to earlier visits to Animal Village is that you need to have the magnifying lens in order to have this cutscene play. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see the Zora. So it's just very convenient that on the way to Dungeon 6, we're like one block away. So that is every single picture, every heart piece. We have our tunic. We just need one instrument and one more key and the level 2 sword. And we'll be just about good to go. So, alright. Fun fact about this screen, actually, you can, if you wall clip, you can just completely avoid that staircase and just kind of dash through, but this guy can be a little bit of a pain, so you usually want to jump over him anyway. So coming up here is the Armos Maze. If you're not careful, this can be another place where Blue Tunic can be helpful, because you can take a lot of damage in this area, but since we have so many heart containers, it really shouldn't be an issue. Oh, whoops. There we go. Forgot which items I had on which buttons. So, right here, you want to have, boots and shield, because we are going to be making our way through the Armos Maze, and the shield is the fastest way to make our way through there. If you wall clip, right here, then you can... Sometimes you won't move on that second bump, and that'll be a little faster. Up here, what you want to do is make sure you're pressed up against the wall, and, man, it's hard to explain the Armos Maze quickly, because it happens so fast. Make sure you're pressed up against the wall on the next one, so that you can bump the Armos, and then wall clip in here, and then you can just make your way through. The Zol doesn't need to hit you. You can usually just wiggle your way through. Alright, so next we're going to do basically the same thing here. Whoops, Zol. I was debating which order I wanted to show some stuff in. So there, that's what that would look like on the other side. And this one you can just wall clip in between. You can shield bump that guy and keep going. And there you go. So up here is Bootstrats, and Bootstrats is something that's kind of hard to explain. I will probably be making a separate video. I should say it's hard to explain quickly. So I'll probably make a separate video about Bootstrats. So yeah, just know that there's a fast way to use boots to kill this guy. But I will be making a separate video and hopefully uploading it within the same day as this one. Actually, just in the interest of that, I'm just gonna save state right here so that I'll have one in a separate slot, so that I'll have one for the Bootstrats video. Okay, so basically, oh, Almost. There. It should look something like that. That's what Bootstrats is. So I will explain that more in depth in another video. If you have trouble with that, because this is 100% and we have more arrows than we can count, you can just kind of spam arrows on this dude. So you can just do that, and that's honestly about the same speed as Bootstrats, but it looks a lot less cool. So, and then really, really worst case scenario, if you don't have any arrows available or enough arrows, you can just spin slash this guy like this. That is definitely the slowest strat of how to kill this guy, but it still works. So regardless of which strat you decide to use, though, in the end, you should get the face key. So coming down here, you can actually wall clip past this guy. This one can be kind of tight to do quickly, so if you want, you can just bonk him with your shield. Same here. And now we're doing the same thing in reverse. This one actually does require a damage boost unless you want to take a hit from the Armos. And the Armos can be kind of damaging. They can do 2 hearts of damage, so you want to avoid that. Although with Blue Tunic, it's, again, much less risky because it only does 1 heart. So, okay. Here we want to do same thing, wall clip up here, get past this guy. Sometimes you need to just shield bonk him anyway. And we are actually going to be going in here to get our final and 20th seashell. The reason I was pausing at the beginning of this episode, when I first came to this area, is because Zorlax does this seashell on the way to Bootstrats, and I do it on the way back. It really doesn't matter, I don't think. It should make very little to no difference. So, alright, then same thing. Get damaged, and here. Now we want to wall clip in here. Can walk past this guy. And just boot our way to victory. I like to bump that guy out of the way before I actually... Whoops. Before I actually go to change equips. So... So this is one area where Red Tunic absolutely gets a good advantage because you need to pick up a bunch of stuff really quickly, and Red Tunic is good for that. Okay. So here, want to equip Boot and Feather. If you have the health for it, you want to just tank the hit on this guy and just walk right into the hole. Otherwise, you can freeze him with his hook shot once he's active, but there you go. Jump over these guys. Intended strat here is to use the hook shot to pass this, but you can just time jump diagonally to just avoid that. That's called the Zorlax jump because he misses it a bunch. But in all honesty, we've all missed that plenty of times. So coming up here, what we need to do is go open up Dungeon 6, but the faster thing to do is to actually fall off this and come right over here because, hey, look, we're right at the Seashell Shack and we can get our reward for getting our 20th seashell. Which is the level 2 sword. Try and fit yourself underneath this sword as the cutscene plays, because if you do that, you'll get the sword on the first frame that you can, like that. And here you can, oh wait, no, you want to wait for the text to show up like that. There you go. If you save and quit out of there early, you will need to get this level 2 sword again, and that wastes time. So wait until the got item music plays before you bring up the save and quit menu. And as you can see, we now have our shiny new level 2 sword. And now we wait for Dungeon 6 to open up. And we are at our final destination, well, almost our final destination. We're at the final dungeon of the game. So in the next episode, we will be taking out Dungeon 6. And in the one after that, we will be finishing up this series. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.